My name is Jason Emo, and I am an application scientist with Beckman Coulter Life Sciences. In this video, I will show you how to create a colored overlay plot using different gated populations or conditions within an experiment, and how to overlay manually gated populations onto a VISNI plot, as well as how to export a table of statistics. Cytobank colored overlay plots are a useful tool in the analysis of cytometry data. This type of figure allows plots that would normally be viewed separately to be assigned a color and placed on the same graph. The overlaid plots can be colored according to different gated populations or samples within an experiment. In this demo experiment, PBMCs were stimulated with IL-6, IL-10, and LPS, and phosphorylation of the transcription factors STAT3 and P38 were measured after 15 minutes. Surface antigens were stained with antibodies to identify signaling in CD4 positive and negative T cells, as well as monocytes and B cells. Making a colored overlaid dot plot is simple on the Cytobank platform. From the illustration editor bar, choose a plot type of dot and turn on the overlaid button. When this coloring mode is chosen, an overlaid plot will automatically be created using the default layout settings, which has FCS files in the overlaid position, channels in the columns position, and populations in the Table 1 position. To overlay manually gated populations onto the dot plot, simply click on Layout in the Illustration Editor navigation bar, click on FCS Files, and select the box next to Populations to switch the manually gated populations to the overlaid position. In this experiment, 4 FCS files have been gated and assigned a color, then placed in the figure to visualize different signaling behaviors in response to different compounds. To help bring out details in this illustration, the plot settings can be adjusted for the overlay plots to increase the plot size, the dot size, as well as the shape of the dots. The figure is updated automatically to reflect the changes that were made to the plot settings. The ordering of variables within the overlaid figure is defined by the order in which the variable is placed on the graph. Subsequently, the order defines which variables are stacked on each other as well as the coloring. The ordering can be changed by clicking on the Layouts Preview button in the Layouts tab, deselecting the variables from the overlaid box on the left side of the Layout Preview, and then adding the variables back in the order that you want them overlaid in the figure. Ordering is especially important when visualizing populations that hierarchically overlap. In these cases, the populations with fewer events need to be placed in the stack at a later point. In this layout, traditionally gated populations are overlaid on top of a VISNI map in order to see events missed by manual analysis. The VISNI plot is created with the same default settings as I previously described for creating colored overlay dot plots. To overlay the previously manually gated populations onto the VISNI map, click on the Layout tab and on the FCS Files tab inside of the overlaid box. Toggling over the Table 1 tab in the Populations box allows you to switch the manually gated populations to the rows position and the FCS files to the Table 1 position, which updates the plot to overlay the manual analysis on top of the VISNI map. The Export Statistics tool allows the creation of templates used to export batches and statistics from all files within an experiment. The templates used in the Export Statistics tool can be saved and loaded later into any experiment, so long as the template makes sense for that experiment. Templates may also be shared between users on the same Cytobank server. To enter the Export Statistics tool, first navigate into an experiment and go to Actions, and then Export, and finally to Export Statistics. Upon entering the tool, navigate to Settings Templates to select either previously saved personal template or, if available, a public template generated by your site administrator. It is also possible to import from file a previously saved statistics template from a file saved on your computer, which can be used for transferring templates between Cytobank servers. Alternatively, the option to define a new template from scratch can be chosen. Templates can also be saved and loaded at any time by selecting Save Template. The Export Options window allows you to change the file name associated with the statistics table, change the orientation of the table from rows to columns, choose the compensation associated with the statistics, and whether to include compensation in control files, as well as choose to export as either a CSV or a TSV file. A template is populated with export definitions that become rows in the view at the bottom. Each row is a piece of information, generally statistics, that will be pulled from every file in the experiment. Besides statistics, sample tag information and FCS file keywords can be extracted from the experiment into the spreadsheet. This is beneficial for maintaining scientific context for your statistics upon import into another tool such as Prism or Excel, instead of just being limited to FCS file names. Statistic types are selected one at a time from the selection window. However, you can select multiple populations and channels by holding the Control button and clicking multiple selections. The export definitions are populated by clicking the Add Columns button. The same is true for both the sample tags and file keyword windows. You can also rearrange the order in which the statistics table will be built by dragging and dropping the rows where you want them. You can delete rows by clicking the X at the end of the row, or delete all of the rows by clicking the Delete All Rows button. Finally, when you're ready to export your table of statistics, click the green Export Statistics File button in the navigation bar to begin the download.